Hey everybody, this is Dr. Tran, and I am here to share with you a little petition that I put together that I hope you sign. Let's get right into it. First of all, let's start with a little history of Rare before we get into the petition part. Tim and Chris Stamper were the people who created Ultimate Play the game, and that was around for a while until the NES came about. Then became, from Ultimate the Game, Rare. And I'm about to read you an excerpt from Spong.com. Here we go. Rare went on to produce a total of around 60 games for the NES and Game Boy. One of the biggest selling video games of all time, Donkey Kong Country, was the beginning of a multi-platform franchise which has set sales of over 30 million copies to date. The original Donkey Kong Country was followed by Killer Instinct, the first and another extremely popular series, which hit top place in 1995. Arcade popularity charts and spawned highly successful home conversions. Nintendo was so impressed with these achievements that they invested in a landmark fiscal partnership with Rare, giving the fast-growing British outfit freedom to expand its premises, staff base, and ambitions. It was not long before the consoles took another evolutionary leap, and Rare turned its hand to developing for the brand new Nintendo 64. The first fruits of the company's next-generation labors hit the shelves in 1996 in the form of arcade upgrade K Gold, or KL Gold, hotly pursued into 1997 by a trio of high-class titles which pushed the hardware all the way and earned themselves place in the Warren Few Best Years list, yada yada yada. Straight into 1998 with 3D adventure romp Banjo-Kazooie. This mascot-based title went down. A storm of expectations were bubbling over the future offerings, which in 1999 took the form of N64 Epic's Jet Force Gemini and the long-awaited Donkey Kong 64. Plus Rare's first outings on the Game Boy Color, Conker's Pocket Tales. And there was no slowing down in 2000 with perhaps Rare's greatest and most heavily anticipated lineup to date, Perfect Dark for the N64 and the Game Boy Color, Mickey Speedway, Banjo-Tooie, and the Game Boy Color Donkey Kong Country adaptation all hit the shelves in this benchmark year. In 2001, development wound down slightly in preparation for another console generation shift. The company's only release this year being its N64 swan song, the groundbreaking and mature-rated comedy adventure Conker's Bad Fur Day. So that's what we're here for. We're here for Conker's Bad Fur Day. What is Conker's Bad Fur Day? Well, if you're watching the Let's Play, you know it's a mature-rated game made by Rare, put out in 2001. It didn't sell that well, mainly because of poor advertising. It was kind of controversial. Well, it was really controversial. So it didn't get that much praise, wasn't very well. It wasn't on TV very much. You couldn't see commercials for it. It was really badly promoted, and it was a good game. It was praised for its great graphics, and it pushed the N64 to levels that never before have been seen on an N64 before. Now, here's a little interesting information. After the release of Conker's Bad Fur Day, Rare began production on a new Conker game, initially called Conker's Other Bad Fur Day, but may have been changed to incorporate a subtitle, Getting Medieval, in 2002. Microsoft purchased Rare from Nintendo, so instead of finishing and releasing the game, Rare remade Conker's Bad Fur Day for the Xbox, naming it Conker Live and Reloaded. On September 16, 2008, it was announced that Microsoft canceled the game Rare was working on, and in a later interview, some of Rare's staff members hinted at what might have been. So, this is what I found out. The original Conker's Other Bad Fur Day started with Conker spending all his money on booze and hookers, and he got put in jail, and the game began with you trying to escape. That's what it was supposed to be before it was bought by Rare. Now, I'd like to show you a little video that doesn't really say much, but I'll just play the video, then I'll talk about it. Now that video doesn't show much, but it does show that they were working on Conker's Bad Fur Day. They were at least testing the graphics and how good a GameCube could handle Conker's Other Bad Fur Day and a possible Banjo 3. We're not here about Banjo 3, but I would like to mention something else about Banjo 3 that I found pretty interesting, and I think will open some eyes. I hope it does anyway. I'll show you a little picture of this too in the video so you can see it for yourself and see that I'm not making this up. This comes from Rare, and not me. Okay, so it began as a reworking of the first Banjo game, then Conker Live and Reloaded came out and didn't have the reception we'd hoped. It made us take a second look. User-generated content was a big new buzzword, and so we were wondering if we could put some of the design in the players' hands, and etc, etc. Basically what that's saying is, originally Nuts and Bolts started as a remake of Banjo-Kazooie, but Conker Live and Reloaded didn't sell so well, so they turned it into Nuts and Bolts. So just imagine what we could have had then. Now, I say that because I find it interesting that Conker Live and Reloaded had such an interesting effect on Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. I wonder if Conker sold well, we'd have another Banjo remake. That would probably lead to a Banjo-Tooie remake, which would probably make Rare a big name in people's eyes again. Since they've been moved to Microsoft, they haven't had that many great games. I mean, I won't say that Rare is over the hill. They had the good games, you know. Banjo Nuts and Bolts admittedly wasn't so bad, but, well, I'll show you what an option of the cars you could have built could have been right here. That would have been pretty interesting, I think. But also, Viva Pinata wasn't a bad game either. So you can't say Rare has lost their flair that they used to have. Of course, Tim and, you know, the Stampers, they are gone. They did leave, but the company is still pretty good. So what I propose is that we allow Rare to make another Conker's Bad Fur Day. I know they've said they don't want to go back to the past, but you can't just leave the stuff that made you what you are in the past. I'll admit, I'm happy that Banjo and Conker haven't been pulled into all these little sort of crappy adventures like Mario, who have been used to death in Donkey Kong and Mega Man. I'm glad they haven't been put in that kind of spot, but I do think Conker deserves a little more respect. Banjo had 3 games, even if the third one was a little, you know, well, you could say he had 4 games. Conker had 2 games, if you count Pocket Tales, but Conker needs to have a sequel as well. I think people would like to play it, and if I can do my part by opening your eyes to the idea and showing you a Let's Play of the old Conker's Bad Fur Day, maybe get you interested, maybe make you want to follow along, maybe make you want to sign the petition, then I will do just that. And let me just talk real quick about Rare's current stand on games. I'm not too much for the Kinect Sports, but the more I think about it, it may be them trying to attack Nintendo's core Wii Sports thing. You know, try to see if they can beat them, be better than them. I'm not saying this is fact, I'm just speculating here, so it's not really important. I figure maybe after Kinect Sports they'll go on and do another Banjo game, and maybe they will make another Conker game. But that's yet to be seen, so let's at least get the okay from Microsoft, because Microsoft canceled the other game. Originally, they're the ones that told them to stop working on Other Bad Fur Day. So what I propose is we sign this petition, and the hopes are to get more than 5,000, you know, signatures, but 5,000 would be very appreciated. Come on. I know there's other petitions out there, and that's a good thing. Keep those petitions. Sign those petitions too. Sign my petition, sign those petitions. You know, the more the better. We gotta open up the people's eyes. Maybe Microsoft can make a good Conker game for once. Conker Live and Reloaded was a little bland with the censoring of the curse words. Apparently that was supposed to make it funnier, but it was a failed attempt at humor. And we know Rare has its, you know, good humor still. We see that in Nuts and Bolts. So I think they can make another good Conker game if they don't completely change the genre. So what I propose is to sign the petition, try to get this sequel to come alive again. Get Microsoft to understand that this would be a good idea. You could really make money on this if you sold it and you promoted it and it was a good game equal to the first one. Imagine the things they could do with the hardware that the 360 has. Anyway, I think I've wasted enough of your time. So, I want you to sign the petition. From here on out, it will be on the videos of Conker's Bad Fur Day, and a little thumbnail you can click that will take you to the petition site, and if I can't do that, I'll at least take you to this video. This video will be a link to this video on every other video I have. I may have rambled a little bit, and I may have stumbled my words a little bit here, but if you've seen my Let's Plays, you probably expect that. So, please sign the petition, watch Conker's Bad Fur Day Let's Play, and bring the life back into Conker that he deserves. Don't you think he at least deserves to get one sequel? Shouldn't Conker get to go home? His real home? That's all I'm asking. Do it for Conker. Do it for Microsoft. Do it for Rare. Do it. Please. That's all I'm gonna say. I hope this opens your eyes, and I hope this makes you sign the petition. This isn't a person ranting, getting all angry about, oh, Rare sucks, and I encourage you to send this to Rare if you can. And because I'm not bashing them, I'm just saying that I know that they can do it. Even with Chris and Tim gone, I know that they can make a good game out of Conker's Bad Fur Day. They have to do a platform game eventually. Maybe after Connect Sports, when they possibly prove what they wanted to prove to the Wii Sports and to Nintendo itself. Either stay with Microsoft or make the sequel, or, you know, go back to Nintendo. But I do encourage you to follow this petition, sign the petition, and tell other people to sign the petition. If you have any memories of Conker's Bad Fur Day, sign the petition. You know, maybe you can get a second game before the year's out.